IVM.
Hey guys, welcome to the Positively Unlimited podcast. This is the A to Z series of finding your life purpose. And today we're on the letter O. Well, today I want to share with you what I call the over and above principle. When I was learning to be a life coach and we were learning about setting goals, one of the things that we were taught was that if you think that on a scale of 1 to 10, you can reach a 6 comfortably, then ideally you should set your goal at an 8. Now, some of you may think that, yaha, that's just natural. I mean, you set goals because you are supposed to push yourself, right? While there may be some of you who may be thinking that why would you push yourself to an 8 and fail when you can set yourself at a 6 and achieve that comfortably and then maybe set the next goal. Now, here's the other thing. When setting goals, you must first set yourself up for success. The mistake that most of us make is that if we can comfortably get to 6, we usually set our goals to a 10 or even a ridiculous 12. Why do we do that? Because the whole idea of pushing ourselves comes from a space of judging ourselves. On the other hand, the ones who set their goal at 6 or then below 6, well, they're the ones who just don't want to take a chance and who are seeking guarantees. Which is why, if you can comfortably get to 6, then you need to set your goal just a little bit higher than that. And hence, a 7 or an 8 is a good mark. The other very important thing that you want to realize is that during that journey from 6 to 8, well, in that space is where your obstacles will come up, your limiting beliefs will show up, and everything that stands in your way will start to come through, will start to show itself. It is when you are working on moving from 6 to 8 that you really start changing who you are for the better. Now, I know that all of this is great information. I mean, this is useful stuff. But how is this going to help you figure out your life purpose? Well, that's just it. This episode isn't about finding your life purpose, but rather building a life skill that you are going to need in order to live your life purpose. The thing about our life purpose is that this over and above principle is always at play. It's as if in order to live your life purpose, you will always have to do a little bit over and above what you can do or what is possible. Our life purpose is not just something that is supposed to fulfill us and fill our life with meaning. It is a tool the universe uses to challenge us and to nudge us to keep evolving. Okay, so here's what you want to try all of this week. Think about your comfort zone. Observe yourself and figure out what is your comfort zone in different situations, in different aspects. Think about where you are being comfortable and where you are pushing yourself a bit too hard or a bit too much. Well, the first thing that you need to do is bring both of these into balance, which means that if you can do a 6 and you are pushing to do a 12, then you need to learn to do only an 8, right? Whereas if you can reach a 6, but you settle for a 4 or a 5, then you need to first get yourself to a 6 and slowly nudge yourself to the 8. Getting into the habit of doing over and above what you can in a balanced way, in a way that is satisfying and not exhausting. That's the phrase that you want to hold on to. When you do over and above, it should be satisfying and not exhausting. So putting that into practice, learning to do that, building that habit is something that will go a long way once you figure out your life purpose. Well, if there's one thing that you want to figure out this week, then it is to build this habit. At this point, I'd also like to throw another word at you all. Overcompensating. This is something that a lot of us do in our personal lives, in our relationships. Well, know one thing. If you are overcompensating in your personal life, you are also overcompensating in many other areas of your life. Habits, you see, are sneaky like that. They will eventually show up everywhere. So as you are working on figuring out your life purpose, as you are evolving to be aligned and ready to live your life purpose, you need to also learn to not overcompensate. Do not confuse the over and above principle with overcompensating. Those are two different things. When you take the over and above principle to an extreme, and when it is standing on a very, very weak foundation of fears, you will find yourself overcompensating. You will find yourself bending over backwards. Now, if you start overcompensating with regards to your life purpose, say you figured it out and you're living it, but in order to live your life purpose, you're constantly overcompensating in that particular situation where you are doing what you are supposed to do, doing what gives you meaning, or in other areas so that you can do what makes you truly happy, then you will start resenting this purpose as well, because it will become too much. It'll become exhausting as well. Just like all those other things in your life where you overcompensate. Also remember this. If you are overcompensating, then you are worried about something. You are afraid of something. There is a lack of some kind. And if you want living your life purpose to be fulfilling, then you have to learn to fill the voids in your life with aligned things. So yes, that's your homework for you. Observe yourself. Figure out your comfort zone. Figure out your over and above zone, and figure out your overcompensation zones. Make notes of it. Understand yourself and then slowly start bringing all these zones into alignment. And with that, I'm going to be signing off, but only after I tell you, as always, that all previous episodes are available on the IVM Podcast app and website. And you can connect with us on Twitter and Instagram. Our handle is IVM Podcasts. Also, if you'd like to get in touch with me, you can DM me on Instagram. My handle is Positivity Angel. When you do tell me how this exercise of figuring out your comfort zone, the over and above zone, and the overcompensation zone is going.
I hope you enjoyed that show. If you aren't following us on social media, please do. We're IVM Podcasts on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. We'd like to thank our sponsors very quickly this week, thewholetruthfoods.com, Storytel, and CED. We really do appreciate your support. And we had a great week on the network this week. So tune in for some sweetness with our hosts Sadaf and Archit as they hone their sweet tooth and talk about candies. The famous, the healthy, the traditional, and international. Check out Naan Curry. You'll enjoy it. On last week's episode of The Note, Maruk and I spoke to TV presenter and columnist Veer Sanghvi, who analyzed the 2 years of the second term of the Modi government. As China and India signed the disengagement agreement along the LAC, Lieutenant General Dr. Prakash Menon and Manoj Kewalramani joined Suyash Desai to discuss the process and the consequences it will have on the nation and in world politics. Dr. Anton Harder joins Hamsini Hariharan on States of Anarchy to discuss India's right to a seat at the United States Security Council. Ashton Doctor talks about duty, how individually it binds us and how as a society it is liberating. Check out the Habit Coach with Ashton. Every day, great show and great fun to listen to that. On Football Show, all the boys talk about their loves and sorrows for teams and their current ranks in the world of football. And also do remember to check out Cyrus Says. We had a great week last week. We had Amol Mazumdar, the ex-cricketer. We had Rocky and Mayur. And we did the Valentine's special with Aisha and Kunal. Great fun. Do check it out. I'm sure you will enjoy that. And with that, I hope to see you again next week.
Whether you're an established sports person or a budding one, or simply a sports enthusiast, join us, Tanvi and Shlok.
We are two passionate pro badminton players talking policy, mindset and everything sport.
So tune in to The Millennial Athlete every Monday.
Only on the IVM Podcast Network.
Trust us, it's gonna be lit.